Yeah, I don't think Alderman Kolodze's spoken to the main motion yet. Alderman Kolodze?
Mr. Chairman, we have a difficult task ahead of us because we can all think back that many of us on council came from some humble beginnings. We came from some poor families. And I can remember growing up in a home with 2 families in it, 9 people in that home, sharing kitchens. And all through my life on Albert Street, we had boarders. We provided housing to homeless people. Now, it got down to the point that there's one person living in that house, my mother. But fortunately this weekend, we brought a relative from Toronto to live with her, with a child. And these are the things we have to contend with. All of us, I think you came from the Cedardale area, didn't you not, Mr. Mayor?
No, I was up eating that soot with Mr. Hewitt at the footings at 196 Huron. I can remember as a young lad, I was the only one that had a white tent in the backyard. That's not because my parents sent me there, but I had a white tent. And I think it was about 3 days later after the fitting soot, it was gray, and so we lived with that. So I understand his problem very clearly.
Mr. Mayor, I can remember hearing one of our former aldermen who ran for mayor saying he lived in the upper level of a 2.5-story dwelling unit in what is now my ward, and he said they had a lot of fun there. There was a starter. The humidity was. But it's kind of nice that we can chuckle about this because a lot of us can recall those days. You can have a home, and one of the greatest people in Oshawa who's done a lot for co-op housing, 15 children he had. 15, who I'm talking about, Gary Kent. 16? Like, what's a dwelling unit? What is a dwelling unit? Is it a mother and father with 16 kids? Is it my mother living alone in her home? Is it us living doubled up years ago, 2 families sharing 1 kitchen? These are the things we have to contend with. And the jobs of the building department is a very difficult job in this area. We've heard some of the constraints they have. It's a thankless job, stressful job. But they have to do it as best as they can. We have to give them the support they can. We do have the shortage of housing. We'll always have it. You heard what Mrs. Diamond said. She was here 10 years ago. She's here today. Nancy, you'll probably be here 10 years from now. But we have to do something about this. Like people are doing. We got a problem here with Beaver Lumber. Do we park our inspectors at Beaver Lumber and have them follow home everybody that takes a kitchen out or a toilet out or a 2x4? These are the problems we have to contend ourselves. I got a freezer in my home. Is that part of a dwelling unit? I got a microwave oven. Do I have cooking facilities now? Where do you draw the line? And you can. My mother's got a mini freezer downstairs, and an extra toilet that my dad put in about 35 years ago, and she's got a sink there, but it's a wash tub. Does she have a dwelling unit? Because it's a recreation room where we used to play when we were kids. What is the definition of it? It's a very, very difficult situation to administer. It's a very difficult situation to control. I was in a dwelling unit today in my ward. The landlord took me in. He said, "Who's this person?" It's a single mother with 2 kids. "Who's this man here?" Well, he moved in with me a couple weeks ago. She's providing housing for a homeless man.
Unique way of putting it, Ed. Go for it, Ed. You got it.
Yeah, so as you said, it's our building inspectors do have a difficult time, but I think you can wrap it up.
You can laugh, but that is reality. That is reality. You might chuckle, they're paying $450 for a basement apartment. How much is that? It's $15 a day. $15 a day, you might get 2 humble bedrooms, cooking facilities, a small living room, but you're only paying $15 a day. You know? Some people are providing housing very reasonably, low cost. But Mr. Mayor, I think we're zeroing in the right thing, because there's a lot of potential spots that we can provide in areas that are properly zoned. We have to do something in other areas. Mr. Chairman, I made these comments. I tried to present both sides. I will be supporting the recommendation.
Okay, on item number 3, I'm going to put the question, unless Alderman Wiley, do you wish to close?
If I could, very, very
Thank
quickly.
you, Alderman Wiley.
Well, I'd like to first of all congratulate the staff for the time and effort they put in Mr. McCrisky and his staff in putting this together. We finally have a recommendation I think that most people are going to support. Just a reminder that in item number 1 that is subject to a public hearing in order to have that bylaw amended, and that the maximum penalty for corporations under the Planning Act is $50,000. The maximum penalty is $50,000. I couldn't let one comment go by. One alderman suggested that perhaps as a municipality or municipalities in general, that we're part of the problem. Part of the problem being that we have turned down requests to rezone an area or a site-specific area to allow a single-family home to become a duplex. But I think if we're guilty of anything, it's upholding the bylaws that we seem to be entrusted with. And I think that the citizens would expect that to happen. And I'm sure that if there has been an attempt to rezone an area on that basis, it's been because there's been hue and cry, as there was in Richmond Street. This is a good recommendation, and I think it bears support by everyone.
Thank you. On item number 3, I'm going to put the question. Those in favor of the item, contrary of any, carried. Alderman Armstrong, did you still wish the items divided or no?
No, item 5 or subsection 5 of the dealt with.
Thank you very much. The item is carried. The clerk will call the roll, please.
Alderman Aker?
Yes.
Alderman Armstrong?
Yes.
Alderman Beal? Alderman Dion? Alderman Harrell?
Yes.
Alderman E. Kolodzie? Alderman J. Kolodzie? Alderman Mason?
Yes.
Alderman McLean?
Yes.
Alderman Nicholson?
Yes.
Alderman Pottercarry?
Yes.
Alderman Shoulder?
Yes.
Alderman Wiley?
Yes.
Alderman Wilson?
Yes.
Mayor Pilkey?
Yes.
15 affirmative, no negative.
The item is carried unanimously of those present.